Welcome to the Meditation Minis podcast, mind-shifting meditations to help you feel better fast, with your host, hypnotist Shel Hamilton.
Hello and welcome. This week's meditation is focused on releasing fear, but you can actually use it for anxiety or any other negative state that you're feeling. In fact, anytime that there is a meditation that's focused on something like anxiety, you can actually 9 times out of 10 in those meditations, if not 10 times out of 10, in your own mind, replace anxiety with fear if that is something that you are having an issue with. So just knowing moving forward that even though a meditation may seem to be specifically focused on something like anxiety, you can of course replace it with fear, with sadness, and even with anger. I know a lot of times, especially when somebody first finds this podcast, they do so because they are going through something difficult or transitional in their life that's bringing things up for them. And if that is you, then I also want to encourage you to consider getting professional counseling if you haven't done so already. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp, and BetterHelp offers online counseling with licensed professionals, so you don't even have to drive anywhere. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. You can text them, and there's no waiting in the waiting room. You just log on and do your thing. And if you're worried about, well, how do I know who they're going to match me with? Don't worry, because they're so committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches that they make it free and easy for you to change therapists if you ever need. Meditation Minis listeners get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/minis. That's betterhelp.com/minis. Sign up today, get 10% off your first month, and start living a happier life today. And go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And you can either stare at a spot in front of you, or if you feel comfortable doing so, you can close your eyes. And turning your attention to the feeling of the air as it moves in and out of your body for the next couple of breaths. Maybe you notice the rise and fall of your chest. Maybe it's the feeling of the air as it moves in and out of your nose. And whatever it is, just noticing the feeling of your breathing as you begin to settle in. Maybe now purposefully taking 3 even deeper breaths, just breathing in really deep and maybe letting the exhales go out of your mouth with a little sigh. And if right now you are experiencing fear or overwhelm or anxiety or anger, don't worry, it's okay. There's no need to expect that a couple of breaths and the sound of my voice will immediately wash those things away. So just acknowledge that it's okay by saying to yourself silently in your mind, this is normal to feel this way. Of course, there's moments of this in life. And the first part of this practice really is that, not only right now while you're listening to me, but also later on when the fears or the overwhelm or the anxiety comes up, to just stop and take a few moments and acknowledge that this is a normal feeling. Acknowledge that your body and mind have this way of being, and it's okay to just accept it. And then say to it things like, okay, I get it. It's okay. Just breathe. Just be. And if there's a part of you that thinks by accepting that these feelings are occurring in this moment and acknowledging them as normal and natural, if there's a part of you that thinks that's somehow going to make it worse, I can promise you that it's the fighting and judgment against them that actually makes them stronger. Imagine if this feeling were coming up in a little kid that you know. Maybe you do have a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew. And imagine that they're feeling angry or overwhelmed or anxious. Would you say to them all of the horrible things you say to yourself in your own inner mind when it's happening to you? Of course not. And so take another deep breath and remind yourself that it's okay. It's normal and natural to feel overwhelmed right now. You've got a lot going on, or anxious, or fearful, or angry, whatever those feelings are for you. Now, the next part of this practice is to imagine with every exhale, imagine on the exhale that you are sighing or blowing that negative feeling out of your body and into a huge balloon. And you're holding the balloon, and on every exhale, you are breathing the fear out of your body and into the balloon. And continuing to do that with every exhale, breathing that fear into the balloon, or maybe it's anxiety or overwhelm. Breathing it in with every exhale, that balloon getting bigger and bigger. And then when you're ready, tie the end of the balloon and let it go. And all of that feeling that you gave it actually filled it up like helium, and it floats up, up, up into the blue sky. And floats so high that you can hardly even see it anymore. And as that balloon floats away, it takes all of that fear with it. And as you look up at that beautiful blue sky, breathing in that freedom feeling. And know when you open your eyes and come out of this meditation today, your body and mind have been reset. And you can come back to this practice either with the audio or just doing the steps in your mind, acknowledging it, reminding it in you that it's normal and natural and okay. And then on the exhales, imagine blowing it into that big balloon until it's so full, and you tie the end and you let it go, and it floats up, up, up and away. And you have the blue sky and that wide open feeling more and more inside. And bringing that feeling with you now as you prepare to open your eyes and keep that wide blue sky feeling with you for a time. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me today. I'm Shel Hamilton. This is the Meditation Minis podcast. Thank you for every time you rate or review this show, and also for every time you visit one of the sponsors. Taking those actions really helps support my ability to continue to create and release this free, relaxing resource. Thank you again for being a listener, and create an amazing day.